it's kind of like you're trying to find your identity, talking about reinventing yourself. David Data always makes this fucking this analogy. He's like, your life is like an onion, right? And at the core of the onion is your core purpose, the thing that drives you, that motivates you, that you're working towards, that you're trying to build your fucking long-term legacy. But on your way to get to the core, you're going to be starting on the outer layers of the onion, and you got to constantly peel back another layer of the onion. And it's almost like every time you reinvent yourself, or every time you take a huge risk, you peel back another layer, you get closer to your real purpose. And so, you know, I had a similar journey, and you fucking know this, but I guess I got to connect the dots just so we really understand that you shouldn't feel bad about the fact that you feel lost in your current path. You feel like you don't really know what you're working towards, or you don't know if your current goals align with what your goals were last month, etc. Because at the end of the day, just by moving forward, you're getting closer to your core purpose. And honestly, my core purpose has fucking changed at every phase of my life. I've realized that about every 4 or 5 years, I'm almost like a completely different person. Right? When I was 16, I was timid, I was shy, I was not confident at all. Even on the basketball court, especially when my coach was watching, I would start trying harder to try to play good in front of the coach, which completely fucked me up and put me in my own head. And that was honestly one of the first lessons that I learned going into dating advice, is how to get out of your own head. And I was like, had I learned any of this shit when I was still playing basketball, who the fuck knows what could have happened, right? Because I was so in my own head. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy that I was destined to fail, because I wasn't confident in my ability to succeed, and it came through in my actions and my motions. But at one point in time, all I ever thought about, my fucking obsession, was playing for the NBA one day. And that was from my obsession from probably age 5 all the way to, if I'm being honest, 23. Even if I wasn't on the fucking D1 team, I still tried out every year. I fucking trained like a fucking college athlete because I wanted to make the team, right? And long story short, D1 colleges, if they have tryouts, is really just out of formality. They don't plan on taking anybody, because it was like an hour-long tryout, and the first 50 minutes were just running sprints. So it's like,
no, you can't really showcase anything other than you can run.
You can't showcase shit. And by the time you get to showcase anything, you're so fucking exhausted. Like, what are you going to fucking do? You're going to fucking dunk on everybody? No, because your legs were just running for 50 minutes straight. Not just running, sprinting. Right? So it was kind of a fucking joke, if I'm being honest. But for the first 22, 23 years of my life, that's what I thought my path was. In fact, I went and talked to college, like smaller colleges, thought about going to those teams, right? And I had the opportunity to go, but it just wasn't up to my standard. I wanted to play D1, and I wanted to go to the NBA. And I knew if I had gone to some fucking no-name fucking Christian college in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, it wouldn't have happened, right? And so that path got dropped pretty quickly when I was like, well, what if I should actually get a good degree that actually leads me to getting money? And so for 2 years, because at that point I had 2 years of college left, and the counselor was like, yeah, you should probably consider something other than medicine, because I was in engineering. I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. I did that for 1 semester, fucking dropped that shit. I was like, I want to be a doctor. She's like, I don't know, but your GPA is like 3.0. It's probably not competitive to get in. So every fucking semester until I got my college degree, which was like 2.5 years left, I got a 4.0. And I studied my fucking ass off. Up to that point in my life, I had never gotten a 4.0 before once. So just through sheer force of will, I was like, I'm going to make this fucking thing happen. And I thought that was my path. It was my obsession. I was going to become the best doctor in the world. I remember I'd like basically memorized my entire organic chemistry book in college, and I fucking knew that shit like the back of my own hand, which I don't really know much about the back of my own hand, if I'm being honest, but I knew that fucking shit forwards and backwards and left and right and in between, right? And so when I did that, I realized I don't really know if I want to go to medical school, because I was filling out the medical school application, and the first question to KU Medical School on the application was, why medicine? And I thought about it, and I was just like, I honestly don't have a good answer for this, because my answer going in was, I want to be successful. I want to make money, because that's kind of why I go to college. And there's like always this fucking negative like perception in the medical space is like, oh, if he's money motivated, he's not in it for the right reasons, which is kind of bullshit anyways, because it's like the fucking people on The Bachelor. Every single episode on every season is always, that person's not here for the right reasons. that person's here for the wrong reasons. They were talking about trying to win the Bachelor. That's not the right reason. You should be here to find love, right? And so they villainize the person who's there for the wrong reasons. And medical schools and dental schools do the same thing. If you're money motivated, they won't accept you because they think it's like a bad thing. When in reality, I guarantee you 95% of people who go into medicine or dental do it because of the prestige that comes with being a medical doctor or a dentist and the fucking money that comes with it. You want to be financially well off. If you were making 30 grand as a fucking doctor, you probably wouldn't do it, right? Those people who want to make 30 grand just to help people become school teachers, and they complain about the money they're not making, right? And so because I didn't have a good answer, I literally was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to become a dentist, because dentists run their own shit. They are the fucking leader. Whereas doctors are kind of just like slaves to the insurance companies and slaves to whoever runs the hospital, right? And so I was like, fuck it. Fully on my own, self-made man, I'll go to dental school. So immediately I took the fucking dental school exam, get in the 98th percentile of the exam, get into whatever school I want, which happened to be in Arizona because I fucking love Arizona, and moved here. And again, I thought my fucking path was dentistry. But then I dropped out, became a fucking dating coach. In fact, I became a charisma coach. I wasn't even a dating coach. I didn't want to identify as a dating coach because it was a little bit of imposter syndrome. It was like, I just started, what would be the easiest way to kind of get my foot in the door? Well, what if I do something that nobody else is doing, which is charisma coaching? And I realized real quickly that the reason nobody else is doing charisma coaching is because that's not what people invest in. Nobody goes to bed at night thinking, I need more charisma. They go to bed at night thinking, I want to know how to get the girl. Why won't Becky text me back? Right? And so when I learned, that was one of the first valuable lessons I learned. But honestly, even me as a dating coach, I didn't become successful until I changed my identity, reinvented myself as someone who was passionate about the business side of things, so I can grow, so I can understand how to get people in the door, so I can understand how to actually give value to someone's life. So the moral of the story is that was me changing my path from age 20 all the way up to 30, right? And so you're what? How old?
22.
You're 22 years old. I reinvented myself 3 times after I was 22. So I think you're on the right path.